Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So we are going over the top 10 LRs in the game currently after part 2 with the Easy 8s for the LR Super Saiyan 4s and the Super Saiyan Gods. So yeah, if you can see, this is my list. But I'm going to throw two honorable mentions. Being first off, LR Tech Broly. He is great. He is phenomenal. He's everything you want character design wise. He's just great overall. His base form conditions, phenomenal. 10 out of 10. Best thing you can ask for. Then his transformation condition, peak. And then once you get out this monster, he pretty much just goes to work. The only thing that could hold him back at this point now, with harder hitting bosses and all that, is once his 26% damage reduction disappears. Once the extra 26% disappears, he could be more of a fish than anything, especially if you're not using him in guard as the first attacker in the turn, more or less. But overall, he is still very good. I only have a 55%, but his performance is very, very stunning. And then the other honorable mention is Super Janemba. This act skill right here, it's a team protector mechanic. It will never age, 100%. That's why he's so good. And besides that, he's very good defensively and all that. Though at this point, bosses are hitting way harder now. Like, it's insane for some of the bosses in part 3, which I still have to do. But from what I've seen from people and all that, they hit ridiculously hard. He should be able to be in there decently, but you see, it's good now. He's starting to age officially. So yeah, he is my other honorable mention. You could place which one you want further above those two, but yeah, those are my two honorable mentions. So let's go with number 10. My number 10 pick is LR Vegeta Great Ape. Basically, it shows they're actually usable at this point. Good thing, because Inhuman Deeds really hasn't had an actual usable leader, unless you want to take in First Form. I'm pretty sure First Form Frieza leads Inhuman Deeds. Give me a second. Let me just make sure I am right on that. I know he leads Space Traveling Warriors. Oh no, he does not. Okay, but he does buff it with that 30%, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so yeah, you can use him as a lead for that and all that. Great super effects on both his 18 and 12 key makes him really much of a tank. And basically what makes him so good, it isn't the start of turn buff and all that. It's that he gets damage reduction, guard, and he gets more damage reduction and as the first turn slot unit. So basically he gets guard and 60% damage reduction as the first turn unit, aka in the turn. He's basically Beast Gohan 2.0 in that aspect defensively. Offensively, he's way better than Beast Gohan, but defensively, I still think Beast Gohan is better, way faster during the fights. But this guy is no slouch. He is a phenomenal Easy A. They cooked with his Easy A. When he released during the 7th anniversary part 2, he was extremely underwhelming, from what I remember. He was underwhelming. Kaioken Goku was kind of underwhelming, but his damage was insane during that period. But those two just fell off rather fast during that time frame. But yeah, no, they redeemed this Vegeta. 100% they redeemed him. And then all that extra buff he gets at 24. Then you got the Grade 8 mechanic right here, which is actually very good. Because they gave him guaranteed crits, and he hits extremely hard. So he is phenomenal. He is strong. He is everything you wanted him to be when he should have released. But thankfully, the Issei actually gave him a very nice second chance of life. So yeah, I respect it. Yeah, Vegeta Great Ape, it's my number 10. So number 9, it's Tech fusing Goku and Vegeta into Tech Gogeta. I will say this, their base form is now starting to hit the point where it's actually starting to become a issue at this point. I could see these guys dropping completely out of the top 10 during either Tanabata or Worldwide, because they are just, I mean, base form, they're aging. They're still good. They're still good at base. They're just aging at this point, which is fine. It's natural progression of the game, you know, because they're not getting enough in terms of defense, because they're only getting 40% guard. I mean, this ability right here, for the first turn when the character enters the turn, when they're 70% or less from the start a turn. Basically, if they show up, or when their HP is 70% or less, they get additional buffs right there. But the thing is, once that goes, they only have 40%. They have no guard or anything like that. So, defensively, they're starting to be very weak, base form-wise. And then the fusion form, Super Gogeta, he's just still phenomenal. Great super effect, greatly raises attack defense for 3 turns. That's very strong. That's very, very strong. And then you got fusion right here. HP heal, damage reduction, guards when he gets rainbow, and then he gets additional damage reduction for the first 5 turns, 80% scouter, all that. He's still phenomenal. But if you can't super attack with him first, if you put him in slot 1 against some of the hardest bosses, he does take pure damage, even with 80% damage reduction and guard, from what I see. He's still very good in that type of content. 100% his damage and all that, his defense. He's still very good, but he's starting to age officially now, which is crazy to consider, but he's still very good. So, that's my number 9, Tech fusing Goku and Vegeta into Super Gogeta. So, number 8 is Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. What can I say? This character, he keeps surprising me with those attack stats. I usually continuously see him in his 30 million plus with a lot of damage reduction with the guard, everything he does with a super attack effect when he greatly raises defense and all that. His active skill, phenomenal, gives him massive defense for that turn. And then if you're able to proc his 777% defense right here, he becomes immortal. I'm just saying, his defense just skyrockets insanely, especially if it's a Ki Blast Super with that 44% damage reduction there, plus his built-in 33% if you have a Final Trump card, and if you have his 5 turns damage reduction as well. He is what, at 99% damage reduction if he gets super by a Ki Blast Super for the first 5 turns, which is insane, you know. But he's just phenomenal overall. It's just once he loses damage reduction from his 5 turn start, he could be a little bit of liability, but that is if you don't get his right here, the 777%. If you get that, and he has that's gone, this 22% right there, it's fine. He's going to live pretty much anything. That's how much defense he gets if he gets that 777% defense. He's just very good, very good. Overall, very strong links, very good teams he's on. I actually enjoy him. He's actually starting to become one of my favorite releases of 2024, easily. So yeah, so that's my number 8, is Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Now, we go to number 7. And now we begin going into the 10th anniversary LR range. And I am choosing for my number 7 slot, LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth. Leader skill, the new leader skill where they go into the 220% lead now. Super attack effects, great, honestly. Gets a lot of defense from there. He's honestly a very, very strong character. His defense, after he gets hit and all that, and after he supers, he is phenomenally strong defensively. And then his offense power is just crazy. Especially once you get him fully built and then you do the Father-Son Kamehameha. Whoo-hoo-hoo! Insane. And then, of course, that restriction right there, full power, Android style Cell Saga. That's not going to be much of an issue, honestly. Especially since what units they have released. There's a lot of good full power characters or Android style Cell Saga characters at this point because he isn't the only Android Cell Saga unit that got buffed during the anniversary. You also got Tech, Perfect Cell, who got a super easy, who was phenomenal. And then you got also the original LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the IT one, who got a very, very strong super easy. They're very good. So you could go that route, or for full power, you got a lot of good characters. You got Beast, man. I am just saying. You can just throw Beast on his team, you get his full passive. Or you could go at Super Saiyan Gohan right there. Or who else is very good? Kaioken Goku. I mean, people might laugh at him, that's fine. He's still very good, it's just his first turn after he shows up. That's going to be that's going to be real weak unless if you're not lucky with him, he could probably get you killed. But if you get very lucky and he gets everything, his super attack off and all that, he should be very, very strong. So yeah, overall, I really do like his design, and I'm just glad he is a 10th anniversary LR because he is like one of my most anticipated units to release throughout the next year or so. But he came out during his anniversary. I think they nailed him, honestly. Okay, we're out of there. So let's go to top 6. Number 6, I got transforming Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku into Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And I'm just going to tell you flat out right here, if you guys haven't used your stone, get this guy. Because in the long run, he's probably going to be the one of the most valuable units that came out of it. He might just be the most valuable unit to come out of the 10th anniversary due to the simple fact with all that Daima stuff that's happening. Yeah, with Super Saiyan 4 Goku Daima. And possibly a Super Saiyan 4 Fusion, maybe in the next, the final episode that comes out this week. I don't know if it is going to happen or not, but he is very strong base form. He is very strong defensively. Their skill is okay, but it's gotten way better since the 7th LR, EZA, specifically the LR Super Saiyan 4s. So basically, transformation condition, phenomenal. And then he gets crits 24, additional stats if he gets every 3 keys. So every 3 key sphere, he gains an additional 30% stack. So basically, what? At 24, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 24. So what? That'd be 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 182, 10. Yeah, 224 stats if you get all 24 with that, which would make him pretty much invulnerable to most damage in the game. And then you got his guard, and then great chance to evade, and then his amazing defensive support makes him very good. Then you got his Great Ape, which is a team protector mechanic, protects a team for one turn, one rotation. Then after that, you go into Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then he's infinitely stacking on the super attacks, which is very good. Then you got infinite ki, infinite crit, which is crazy. He heals if you're 44% or below. And then his most valuable asset, for why I consider him to be probably the most valuable unit coming out of the 10th anniversary, most likely, is because his support effect. Power beyond Super Saiyan or Giant Ape power category allies 70% and additional 10% damage reduction. And he can guard. Dude, you know, if you get physical LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta out, in, you know, his first turn he gets 77% damage reduction and all that, you add 10% to that, because of this Goku right here, he's at 87% damage reduction. And if you give him 2 Rainbow Key Spheres, he's at 100% damage reduction his first turn appearance. I'm sorry, you can't kill a character who has 100% damage reduction. And guard, by the way. And has millions of defense, too. So, yeah, this guy is going to be one of the most important partners for a lot of the Grade A power units that are going to be coming out from Daima. So, yeah, that's my number 6. He's very good. He is very good. Alright, number 5. Beast Gone. I don't know what to say. They made him too good, and he's still in the top 5 in my opinion. After this anniversary, I was expecting him to leave the top 5. Maybe stay in the top 10, but he's still top 5 unit in my opinion. Amazing leader skill, amazing super effects. It's just because he is designed to be a slot 1 unit. Not many units from the 10th anniversary are designed to be slot 1 units, except for the 2 EZAs we just got with the LR. Basically, what? 3 EZAs, they're pretty much slot 1 units. That would be Great Ape Vegeta, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and then the LR Gods, who are meant to be slot 1 units, 100%. This guy is also a slot 1 unit. Guards, a lot of defense, a lot of damage reduction. He gains more if he performs 5 supers or get hit 8 times. Amazing act skill, which is a target mechanic, which is still very, very valuable. Gets a lot of defense on that. Amazing link set, all that. It's just a phenomenal unit overall, man. I give 10 out of 10 for design on this character. Still, Beast, amazing. Now we get into the big boys. Gods. I, I, d- I still gotta really test with these characters. The LRs, the 7th LRs, 7th Anniversary LRs, the Super Saiyan 4s and the Gods. I really haven't tested out the Gods, but their performances are similar to the Super Saiyan 4s, which I have tested out a little bit. Yeah, they're cracked. The only reason I don't have them above the Super Saiyan 4s due to the fact is what happens when they go blue. Because most of their value comes from their ability to dodge. Which, these harder fights, you can't just dodge because they're dodge canceling fights. Which is why I prefer Super Saiyan 4s over them, because they don't have the dodge mechanic, they have damage reduction mechanic. Which means they're going to survive pretty much anything if they get enough orbs to get their damage reduction complete. Or get as much damage reduction from their orbs, more or less. But these guys are still phenomenal, man. Double orb changing, the crit, the dodging, the additional supers. Yeah, I mean, what else do you really want from them? This is like perfect design, man. I mean, they're that good. I like their design. That's why they're 4. Now we go into the top 3. You could be debating on who's 1, who's 2, or who's 3. It's fine, because the top 4 are probably in the same tier. I just put the Gods a little slightly down just due to the fact that more bosses are starting to do dodge canceling. So at number 3, I have Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Amazing everything, base form, but we're not here to talk about their base form. Their base form is amazing, but we're here to talk about him, the elephant in the room. LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Brother, what were they thinking with this unit? With his EZA. He's cracked. He's beyond insane. I never thought he would be hitting those type of numbers, especially with his counter mechanic. He's just overall like a top. He is probably fighting number 1 slot, in my opinion. Especially his first turn when he gets out, when you pair him up with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the AGL one, and you can get his 100% damage reduction, turn 1, guard, scouter. I'm like, nothing in this game is going to kill him. You can kill Super Gogeta, you can kill Tech Super Vegeta. I was like, you can kill those guys. Yeah, that's a fact. Especially if you use their active skills and all. You use them when you're trying to end the fight fast. This guy, he's going to end the fight fast, but he can't die his first damn turn. Do you understand that? He just can't die his first turn. That makes him so valuable. And then all the damage, and then he gets a guaranteed counterattack if the enemy's HP is 50% less. Like, dude, guaranteed countering the enemy? And then we had to still talk about his Ultra Big Bang Kamehameha skill. If this doesn't kill, he kills on his 18 key. 100%. This guy is so good, I'm honestly debating if I do another tier list maybe next month in March. AK sometime in March, maybe after. No, we don't even get an LR during March, I don't think. The next LR should be April during Golden Week. Ooh. No. April usually has a part 2 because Golden Week is until the end of the month, and then beginning of May is when we get the next LR. Yeah. It's probably not going to happen till then unless we get another amazing super easy for an LR at some point within the next month to 2 months from now, which is possible. This guy could just jump to number 1 depending how much I'm just impressed with his performance, because turn 1 is like the most important. It's like he could tank 10 million plus super attacks, 10 million plus, if not higher, and he takes double damage. Yeah, that's very good in my books. I'm just glad they did him justice with the ZZ. Now at number 2 is AGL Super Gogeta. Their base forms we don't really need to talk about. You already know how good they are. Very good. Vegeta stacks, Goku stacks. You just have to continue stacking until you really want to transform. And then you get to this monster. Goku. Then you get to this monster. But before we do that, the Goku part has one of the most probably the strongest active skill mechanic in the game. Probably. The Ghost Usher and 100% dodge for 3 turns. That's probably the strongest mechanic in the game, I'm just saying. Super Vigil is probably number 2, easily. Then you got this guy. The damage output, the guard, he's so good. His support breaks characters. He makes characters look like twice, if not 3 times better than they should, which is insane. His active skill makes them look so much better. I still have to do the active skill with this Super Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on that turn. I need to see what Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta looks like on that turn specifically, because if he breaks 60-70 million right there, it's possible he can. It's just a fact he possibly could. So yeah, he supports, damage reduction, guards, additional supers, damage reduction, because this part right here, he has Scouter, but this part right here, damage reduction per Rainbow Key Sphere. At most, if you get lucky, because I consistently get lucky enough to actually get 5 Rainbow Key Spheres in a row, where this guy actually just takes them. He gets 250% additional attack from the Rainbow Key Spheres, and he gets an additional 25% damage reduction. He already has 60% damage reduction right there, so that goes up to 85% damage reduction with guard, with all the additional defense he gets. He's like nigh unkillable, and that's just a fact. Like, he's probably going to be better off defensively after he uses his active skill, unlike Super Vegito. Because Super Vegeta does not get any damage reduction more per Key Sphere. But Vegeta has that strong counter mechanic, which is why he's probably number 1 at the moment right now. Which is Goku plus Vegeta that fused into Super Gogeta. Or Super Vegeta. Sorry, my mistake. Super Vegeta. He's like a monster. If there was ever a mistake, this might be the character that might be a mistake. Gogeta is probably number 2, especially with the active skill. I mean, like, that active skill is probably the strongest damn active skill in this whole game. That much support pretty much makes this guy right here unkillable. Because you could get him into millions of defense with active skill support. If you push it pretty much, you could probably get closer to like maybe 5 million with him. And then counters, obviously, he gains more strength, supports, dodge, damage reduction, and then you got his strong ass active skill, which is a target mechanic, where basically he gets 300% extra defense to himself, and then all attacks directed to the character become crits. It's like, how do you kill this guy? Simple answer, you don't when he has his active skill. But if you use his active skill and then somehow magically come back to the turn when he's here, I could see the reality. He could die to a major super attack from the hardest boss in the game. I could see the reality to it. Gogeta, I don't see it as easily due to the simple fact that if you get enough Rainbow Key Sphere, he's going like bare minimum. Let's say if you just get like an average of 2 or 3 Rainbow Key Sphere with HL Gogeta, that's like 75% damage reduction with guard. And after he does 3 super. And he does massively raise his defense with his super attacks. Vegeta only does greatly, but that's probably to balance him a little bit because of how much damage he would be doing, especially with his counters. So yeah, those are the top 10 LRs, in my opinion, in the game. And those 2, Janemba and Broly, Tech Broly, honorable mentions. It's sad that I actually finally managed to pull Broly, and then I personally feel like he finally fell out of the top 10. Which is unfortunate, but he's either like either 11 or 12 in my opinion in the top 20 overall units in the game. He's just that good, man. He's just that good. But yeah, man, 5 of the top 10 units are tech. That's crazy. If I'm thinking about it, yeah, in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully you guys liked, enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.